cousins, Kim folks, what's good? It's your girl, Real Life Plug, and I'm back with another episode for the Travel CNA podcast. Today's episode is what I was shining before becoming a travel CNA. It says nursing in the title, but at the end of the day, we're all nurses. It's all about the patients, and it's all about providing proficient and sufficient care to our patients and enhancing their lives. So, if you're new here, welcome. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn those post notifications on so you can be on time for every single cousin walk, car ride, sit down session. Be on time for the kinfolk link up. Why? Because this is where it's at, and this is where you want to be. Period. So in our last episode, we were talking about taxes. We were talking about how to prepare for an interview with a travel recruiter, and today we're going to talk about some things that I wish I knew before I started travel nursing. First things first, nothing in being a travel nurse is free. Regardless of what your recruiter tells you, regardless of what you see on social media, nothing that the agency provides is free. It all comes out of the overall pay package for your particular contract or for your particular assignment. So let's just say that I'm in Baltimore, my hometown, and the travel contract is about $500, right, a week. This is just hypothetical. Please do not work for $500 a week. Say that the contract is $500. That's how much you're paying me in stipend. That's how much my taxable wages are. All that. Altogether, it's $1,000. So if I only work the bare minimum amount of what the contract allots, I'm only going to make $13,000 at the end of the assignment. That's not including, other expenses. But if I work overtime, that's how you see people saying they made $30K in 1 month. Shout out to my Facebook friend, one of my faithful cousins, Taiwan. Shout out to you, boo, and happy belated birthday. Much love and congratulations on your new car. Or saying that they made $30K. I'm pretty sure that my friend definitely worked a whole lot of overtime. You don't make $30K in 13 weeks, 12 weeks, 8 weeks. You don't make that by not working overtime. Being a traveler is a privilege. It is not a right. It is not something that you're entitled to. While some of the prices will start decreasing for like pay rates and things like that, it is the spring, and a lot of facilities overcharge. We talked about this before. A lot of facilities overcharge, a lot of agencies overcharge facilities for us to be there. So rates are definitely decreasing because of that, as well as it's post-COVID. Them high-paying contracts are like holy grails, like unicorns, and if you do find them, you're going to find them in more rural states where the cost of living might be cheaper, which means that your pay rate is going to fluctuate based on the cost of living for where the assignment is. Also, you have to realize you get paid, your recruiter gets paid, his boss gets paid, and the owner of the agency gets paid. So they're making money before you even get there. They're hoping that you get there so they can make some more money, but just off the fact that this is what this person said, they can start their bill rate. Once you start your orientation and you go to your first day of your assignment, that bill rate starts clocking. That's where that money starts coming in. So if they getting paid $60, $70, $80, $100 for every hour you work, why are you not working overtime? I really wish that somebody was able to break down like how being a travel nurse worked to me in that way. And a lot of people think it's just like glitz and glamour. Oh, you go do your job and then you go take this big grandiose vacation, or you have a lot of commas in your bank account. Some people can do that. That's not feasible for everybody, and it shouldn't be realistic for you if you don't want to put in the work that comes with that. You have to work a lot. Nurses are not just buying never full totes and what is another expensive purse? Bodegas, but what all that Balenciaga, they're not just buying that, working their regular 40 hours. Like, you have to put in work for that. You have to work overtime for that, as well as you have to increase yourself as far as like your education and certifications and things like that. I spent almost a year working on a psych unit. So I got very familiar with the different types of procedures to sedate a patient, to not restrain them but stop them from harming themselves. You have to be willing to expand and grow within your path. Don't just become a CNA and work for 40 years at the same place. Grow, expand, work different places, work on different units, work on the memory unit, work on the psychiatric unit, work on the bariatric units, work with the pediatrics, get into cosmetic post-op recovery. There are so many things that you can do with your CNA license other than just taking care of elderly people or just working in a hospital. Really look into it. You can really make a career out of being a CNA. And that's literally what I did. I prepared myself every single day. Like, I went to work like, okay, I know this is not going to be permanent. This is not what I'm going to do forever. So let me do this job as an honor and a service unto the man upstairs that I serve, or whoever your higher power is. Do it like you're serving them. That's what helps make the job easier. And I promise you, you will never have a bad day at work. Like, never. Another thing that I wish I knew before becoming a travel CNA is that the rates fluctuate based on the time of year it is. So typically you'll always see, like in the north where it snows, they typically always have the higher contracts because it snows longer there and they are colder states. But more so in the south, everybody wants to be in the south. But notably, Florida, Texas, and a few other states in the south, they don't pay enough. Y'all don't want the contracts there, but that's where the contracts are. The average rate for a CNA, like in-house staff, is $13.50. $13.50. So if you as a traveler are making $12.50 taxable, but your untaxed is like $17, $20 or something like that, take the higher untaxed as opposed to wanting a higher tax rate. I would rather make $12.50 per hour back then, not now. I would rather make $12.50 back then than as opposed to right now. What was I about to say? I would rather make $12.50 per hour that's taxed that the IRS, the government, can take their money out of and have a higher untaxed rate. Because that's all for me. And I use it for my housing, my travel allotment, and I document it. That's where a lot of nurses are about to start getting caught up. People are like, oh, I didn't see nobody get locked up for the PPP loans. Listen, honey. Listen, Linda. It's happening. They're just not big enough people that didn't commit big enough fraud to get caught and have it publicized. But it's happening. People are getting locked up for those PPP loans. And the same token, a lot of nurses are owing back taxes on those $100,000 that they made from contracts and things because they're not filing their taxes correctly. They don't have a financial system set up where this is for taxes, this is for me to actually live off of. There's a difference. And in order to get more information like that, you have to make the investment in a financial advisor or a tax consultant, or go to your bank, talk to your local banker. They might be able to offer you some more advice. But nothing in life is free. And that's what I was saying earlier. So like when you need a hotel, transportation, you need them to fly you out to your contract, that cost, it comes out of the overall package. So like I told you before, it could be a $20,000 package per CNA. And you only work 13 weeks at the minimum amount of hours required. Let's just say it's 40 and you make $1,000 a week. You only made $13,000 out of a $20,000 contract. These are the types of questions and things that you have to think about when you're taking these assignments. And if it's in a smaller, more rural town, like, where have I taken y'all? Roswell. I took y'all to Mineral Wells. If it's a smaller town, the cost of living is going to be a whole lot less. So that's where you make bank, and you might not need to stay in a 2-bedroom extended stay in. You might need to get you a studio Airbnb. Save you a couple $100. That's how they're making that money. And remember to put your money to the side for taxes. It happens. Sometimes people forget, and you think, oh, I didn't make enough money to do that. You can shift tax brackets so quickly and not even know it. Like, you have to keep up with your finances, and I definitely recommend having some sort of financial advisor or a tax consultant or something, or somebody that's more knowledgeable in the field as it pertains to finances and taxes. What's the time on?
9:17.
It's only been 10 minutes. I feel like I've been talking forever. Is anybody want to?
It's 2 people.
Okay. Y'all have any questions? Anything that you want me to answer? Definitely open to questions now. I don't know why. Maybe because, like, when I record by myself, it seems like it takes longer. I don't know. But if y'all have any questions, please drop them down below. One question that we get a lot is, how do I become a travel CNA? You have to do that through what's called reciprocity. The way that I do it is I type in the state's name, and then I type in CNA reciprocity / endorsement application, print it out, fill it out, ship it off. And and that's pretty much that on that. Oh, that's my friend. I'm like, who is that coming up here? But yeah. So
I don't like how he was turning. I was like, oh, this is the time. I'm gonna die.
No. But it's been so much fun talking to y'all. This is not usually, we usually have a longer form, and I have my girl Vivi here at the end of vlogs with me. But
you got a question?
What's the question?
Lily says, do you know how long it takes?
Do I know how long what takes, Lily, to get your CNA reciprocity license? It can vary from state to state. I'm live.
It's to get approved by California.
To get approved by California. Ugh. So, are you a CNA or RN? Because when the CNAs were doing their temporary licensures, I saw something online that said if you didn't already put in an application for your temporary license by the 21st of this month, that you would have to actually apply for a whole California CNA license. So it varies. And I'm hearing now that it's taking even longer for things.
CNA. She has a CNA.
Yeah, so I'm hearing even now that it's taking longer, like 2 to 3 weeks for things are backed up. And that's not including all the people that are in front of you for their license. And for the California license, you actually have to go to California and get what's called live fingerprint scanning. I have not started that process, so I'm not entirely sure as to where you will go to get that done. But you do have to print out the application, get a live fingerprint scan done, background check, and one other thing, I forgot what it is, and then you can send it off. I know somebody that has sent theirs off like 2 weeks ago, and they still haven't heard anything back yet. So it's a pretty lengthy process though. And the thing about traveling, the other thing I wish I knew before becoming a travel CNA, it costs money. Like, you will be able to travel without money, but it will set you back so much. It's like backwards hustling. Like, one of the major points in being a travel nurse is that you make more money. So you need to have money saved up so you don't need your agency to pay for your housing or your flight or your transportation. You need to have some money saved up so you can provide that for yourself. So that way when you get there, you're making money on the front end and the back end, and not just on the back end. I don't know about you, but I know about me and Drake. We don't like percentages. We like to get paid on the front and the back end. So save some money up if you want to travel to California, because right now a lot of the contracts that are available, the pay rate is not conducive for the cost of living in California. So you need to have some money in the pocket and be able to kick it out until your contract is able to give you enough money to sustain yourself. Are there any other questions? Okay. So if you like this type of content, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn those post notifications on so you can be on time for every single cousin walk, car ride, sit down session. Be on time for the kinfolk link up. Why? Because this is where it's at and this is where you want to be. Period. We're on the road to 1K, y'all. If you haven't seen my video, Kaylin is going on tour. He's having a show on my birthday, so I need to be there. And I want to wake up monetized by YouTube on my birthday. So y'all make sure y'all run it up. And I got a whole lot more content coming. I'm in Baltimore. I'm with some of the most creative people on this planet. So I got a whole nother series coming for y'all. 2 whole series I'm working on, and we still out. Till next time, bye y'all.